wow, I thought natural light would be great. Not so much. Oh, you can see our lovely backyard. I wanted to give everybody an update on Mr. Sean while I walk through the backyard so that mosquitoes can't land on me too easily. It's fun. 80 degrees here in Texas. Sean has been on a ventilator since Saturday morning. He is in a medically induced coma while he's on the ventilator, which is standard procedure. I had no notice, or at least not enough notice to get to downtown Dallas in time. So I was on the phone with him up to the moment that they were literally going to start the procedure to put him on it. I was able to ask doctor any questions, that you tend to have, and Sean was a little short with me because I had fallen asleep the night before with my, sorry, I was checking out the moon, with my phone on silent. I have to leave it on silent at work, and I still had it on silent and fell asleep like at 9. Exhaustion will do that to you when you're worried and crying all day. You're worn out. You can't hardly see because your vision's blurry from all the mucus. Didn't say the S word. Anyway, I passed out with phone on silent, and I didn't hear his phone call. I couldn't have made it in time if I had gotten his phone call. So him being cross was unnecessary and unlike him. Oh, the neighbor's dog's not out here. Anyway, oh, there they are. Hey, Oreo. Hey, Snow. Hi, baby. Yeah. Get me some puppy love. But anyway, Sean's doing pretty good. Give me some love. Give me some love. Hey, Oreo. I'm gonna say hi to you first. Uh-huh. Oh, yes, Snow. Yes, Snow. Puppy. He was on the ventilator from Saturday morning. I got up there Saturday afternoon and got to sit with him for a little bit and talk to him. I was reading everybody's Facebook messages to him, so he knows, because they say they can hear. So, I never noticed that before. But they say that they can hear you, so I read him everybody's good thoughts, and we're praying for you, and he's strong and amazing and wonderful. Gave him all that. Oh, that needs to be turned over. No mosquito makers. Show your mom's willow tree. Mother's Day last year. She's growing good, I think. She's no fun to mow around, I can tell you that. I don't know what oxygen level he was at yesterday. I did not understand. I still don't understand the new machines that are there. I have very limited experience with them on reading them. Like the other one, I can read no problem. The monitor that you generally get hooked up to gives you your blood pressure, your heart rate, your oxygen level, your heart rhythm, things like that. Ooh, I'm back under here and it's dark. I'm gonna move a chair out here. But this one I can't really read that well. I learned a little bit of it today. Sorry, angles. You like my Beatles shirt? London. You don't need to see the chicken coop that never had chickens. But anyway, I think he was at like 80 or 85 or something. I didn't check it out when I first got there. And then, okay, we visited with him for, I don't even remember when, but and I say we because I made Brandon go with me. I don't want to drive through Deep Ellum alone if it gets dark. I could do it. It's not bad. It doesn't scare me. Not to mention automatic door locks. But I just didn't want to be alone. I was off and on crying all day. I'm proud of myself. I haven't cried today. Let's see, today we went, didn't sleep very good, but I got up and we got out of here. Took my time getting ready. Got Brandon to go. Pop wasn't going to go to church today, so he stayed home, I think, to free it up so that we could go see Sean. And Brandon went with me again. His choice. Always. Well, I say always, and here I just said I'd made him go with me yesterday. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm so scattered. I'm trying to focus. We got there about 10:30, stayed till about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I want to say. And in that time, let's see, he spent most of that time on his tummy. They've been keeping him on his tummy because when you're on your tummy, they have found that you breathe better, you breathe deeper. It's less strain on your heart. That's what the pulmonologist, which is your lung doctor, that's what she told me. They do a test called an AGB. I think it's aortic gases or something like that. Anyway, they take blood and they test it for the levels of oxygen or whatever gas, how much it's permeated into your system. And his is, how to explain that when I don't even really fully understand it. It has to do with, I think I got another test thrown at me today that I didn't know and she couldn't explain either. And that was an AF or an FA or an FB or something. Anyway, not FB, that's Facebook. Hello. Anyway, get back to it. Well, he was on his tummy all day yesterday and this morning. His AGB was good enough that they wanted to flip him on his back to see if his number would stabilize, would be the same. So about 2 o'clock, they flipped him over. And of course, all the swelling and edema had gone to his face and his tummy and in front of his legs and stuff like that. but that was to be expected. Oh, I think I'm becoming a mosquito magnet. Blech. I know I am. Standing, moving, more walking. But they took an AGB blood sample about 2 o'clock. The test would get back about 5. I freaking had my phone on silent again because I was in a hospital. I didn't want to disturb anybody with my ringtone or anything, although it always makes people laugh. It's the little girl from Minions saying, "Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them." Anyway, I forgot to turn it back on, and I missed her phone call, so I had to call back, and it was, of course, after shift change, so I got a different nurse. And she attempted to explain to me that they had to flip him back to his tummy because when they had him on his back, the AGB came back not as good, and so they flipped him back. They'll try again, probably tomorrow, flipping him to his back, and depending on how stable his number is while he's on his tummy. And it's just really a waiting game at this point in letting the medicine do its thing. I've got to watch where I'm going. Eventually the medicine, I'm gonna walk in the dark part, so it'll get better in a minute. Eventually the medicine will, it is working, but it's a slow process to get things where they need to be, to get it to it. How do you explain this? The medicine is working slowly but surely. It is a 21-day treatment of meds. Every day, 21 days. Constant IV drip. Going to the front of the house. Dude, something wrong with your car. See the moon way up there? Ooh, stinky. Somebody's smoking something. Medicine's got to do its job. You got to give it time to do its job. He started it last Friday. So it's been 7, 8, 9 days, full days of the proper meds. And out of 21, you know. But they went down and they looked at him with a scope. And took out some of the gunk they found in there to help him breathe and to send it off for testing. And the tests, the only thing, hello puppy. The tests so far have shown nothing different than the PGP, which is a rare kind of pneumonia that is fatal in 30 to 60% of the people that catch it. People that catch it tend to be autoimmune compromised. I said that wrong. Immunocompromised. There you go. Like cancer patients and AIDS patients. But Baylor, where he's at, tends to have a good success rate. I don't trust this tree. We have a spider that's aggressive in that tree, or we have had. They've had good success at that Baylor in saving patients. You know, they might lose one every once in a while, but for the most part, they don't. They're very attentive. He, like I said in the last video, He thinks they should be on top of him all the time. Well, they are. He just doesn't realize it. Unless they're in a room with a patient, they are out at their monitors, their patients. They can view into the patient's room right there and right there. And they can keep the monitors facing the windows that they're looking through so that they can see what it says. And they can physically see the patients. There are 2 nurses per desk, and they have all the other machines. The readouts are visible on their computers right in front of their faces, and they monitor constantly when they are sitting down and resting if they're not in with the patients. But they're almost always moving and in with patients, giving medicines, which they keep stocked in the rooms, and checking them, cleaning them, brushing their teeth, whatever, cleaning out any mucus that's gotten into the tubes. Not everybody there is intubated. It is an ICU. It is not an intubation ward. Now, in saying all that, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they will lose him. It happens. So, I mean, not everything can be successful. I feel that he will recover. I could be wrong, but I feel like he will recover. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I think I'll be okay with it. I mean, as much as you can be, but I don't want to go there right now mentally. I have gone there myself, with myself. I don't need to go there with y'all. I think that if you have put yourself in my shoes enough to understand what's going on and everything, you get it. This personal reconciliation that you have to do. I mean, yes, I am hoping for a miracle. All he needs is just a little bit of a bump from the powers that be, and he can lick this. They told him he would never get rid of the tumor that was in his spine. It's gone. He needs to get rid of the nodules in his dura, but they don't think his body can take any more treatment because he's having issues producing platelets, which indicates bone marrow damage of some kind, and they don't know what caused the bone marrow damage. Sean is blaming the Keytruda. It wasn't literally Keytruda, it was Pembra, Pembra, which is Keytruda. It's like the generic, I think, or another name for it or something. Anyway, but he's not producing platelets like he needs to. Oh, blessed breeze. Anyway, he's got to be able to produce platelets and red blood cells for them to do chemo. They want to put him back on the original, one of the original chemos called ifosfamide. It is the harshest that he received. It would probably work if his bone marrow will withstand it. I'm not sure it'll breach the blood-brain barrier, but it really might work. What they were using before, the different chemo, that was doing something because the nodules were shrinking. They weren't gone, but they were shrinking. But then we went on that break that was only supposed to be 6 weeks, and it's lasted several months now. So he's rightfully afraid that it's running rampant. Well, it could be. But the last time they scanned him in any meaningful way, he still just had the ones. They hadn't grown, they hadn't moved. I'm just walking in circles in the driveway, in case you're wondering. He didn't have any more, and they scanned from the tip of his head to the tip of his toes. Nothing in the brain, nothing in the lungs, nothing in the legs or groin or intestines. Anyway, I have gotten way off the beaten track. I just wanted to update everybody on his breathing situation with the pneumonia, and here I am talking about the chemo and blood, bone marrow, and platelets. Chemo. Anyway, the next steps for Sean is they will continue with the whole flipping from front to back to test whether or not he can maintain a certain level. He had gotten good on his tummy, and he was maintaining. His heart rate had stabilized. His heart rate had gone up to 150 something. Scary, even for him, who runs about 120 normally. I'm sweating a little bit. Well, it's back down to like 109, which is good for him, and they're happy with that. And his oxygen was doing great, and so they thought, okay, well, we're going to test him. We're going to turn him back on his back, which is a little harder for people to breathe on their backs. Interesting to know that, considering we lay babies on their backs. Oh no, don't lay them on their tummies. Well, anyway, whatever. He did not do as well. His numbers dropped a bit in his AGB. So they're like, okay, we're gonna flip him back to his tummy, and we'll leave him there for a while. Let the medicine work a little bit more. We'll test him, get him back stable, get his numbers good again, and then we'll flip him back to his back again. One of these times, it will either work on his back or his numbers will start to fall while he's on his tummy. So that's where we are. Now, if it starts to work on his back, if he does start to maintain a good number or even a fair number on his back, and they keep him on his back, they will ease off very little at a time on the medicines that are keeping him in the induced coma. They won't take him completely awake yet because, you know, they've got to get the numbers up. Once the numbers get up to a reasonable amount that he can do it on his own, they will try to wake him up completely and take out the intubation tube. And then his lungs have got to start working on their own. That can sometimes be a challenge, but we'll see. That's what they do. That's what they do for a living. So just gotta have faith. Baylor's some of the best people in the world for this kind of stuff. Okay. I have talked way more than I meant to. I apologize for the length of this. Lord knows how long it's going to take to upload, and I don't edit at all, obviously. Just record with the phone and upload. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to tell you? I can't think of anything else. They do have an arterial line in his hand. His ability to clot, which is, I think, a platelet issue. I'm not sure. Is not great. They put that arterial, there you go. I want to say atrium, so not the right word. Arterial line in. He's bled like a stuck pig and they couldn't get it to stop. They ended up having to give him a transfusion into that line. But anyway, they couldn't get it to stop, so they put a pressure bandage on it, a high tension bandage, whatever. Well, eventually it did clot, but it was still leaking just a little bit, still worrisome in the you go on with your bad self. They had to change his dressing. He's had it for, well, now it's been a day and a half. So 36 hours. They've changed the dressing on it 4 times because he's leaked out. They had to give him more blood today while we were there. Just to be sure he had enough blood going on. You know, they were concerned. If they're concerned, I'm concerned. If they're not concerned, I'm not concerned. Much, maybe. Oh, damn mosquito got me on my foot. Oh, flip-flops. Anyway, speaking of flip-flops. Trying to think of anything else. There might be a question. They may end up taking out that line because it's continuing to give them problems. But who knows? It makes it easier on them to draw blood so they don't have to poke him all the time. They know he hates that, and they also know that they're bruising him every time they do it. But he's also losing quite a bit of blood, and they have to give him quite a bit of blood. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well, if you take out the line and get it to stop bleeding and just poke him anytime you want blood, you're less likely to have to give him transfusion. So you can save those reserves for other people. Anyway, I think that's about it. If you got any more questions, I'll answer if I can. Just leave a comment. I will get a notice in my email and eventually get back to you. Catch me on Facebook. Send me a message through there. Anyway, I'm gonna get back inside. I'm done being mosquito dinner. Have to take my baby here into the car shop tomorrow, the Chevy house. Some sort of airflow control module thing is out. I could have changed it myself. It probably would have taken me about 30-45 minutes to do, but there's no guarantee that the teeny tiny leak that it's found is only in the module. They've got the equipment to check that out. I don't. I'm also a little afraid I don't have the hand strength to undo the little squeezy things that you gotta do to pull it apart. And Dad don't have it in his hands anymore to help me. And Brandon don't have it in his hands. And I don't really have anybody else anymore. I had a brother-in-law I could get to help me one time. But, you know, he's decided he don't want to be a part of the family anymore. So, with Pam gone, he's done. All right, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I'm very disappointed, but that's for another day. Another conversation for another day. I will always love him. If he needs me, I'm there for him. You hear me, Carl? You need me? I'm there. You want me? I'm there. But the choice is yours. You may not want us as a family, but we're family. We'll be family till the end. You're like my big brother. Okay? Peace. I'm watching Brandon. Here, let me see if I can show you Brandon. He's playing video games with his friend Arthur. Well, it's really Sean's friend, but they're friends too. Something on the PS4. They're talking over a headset. There's Jester, Sean's cat. Oh, he's hiding under the bed. Hi. Hi, Jester. Trying to see the reflection in the glass. See if you can see him. Here, let's do this. There. Now you can see him. Aren't you the cutest thing? I'm letting a moth in for you. Yeah. New toy. What do you think, huh? What do you think? Oh, go get it. Yeah. Fun times. Oh, this is Sean's room since we redid it. I don't think anybody's seen it. It's a mess, but not terrible. We got the bed stripped because, well, the cat. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, I think he's caught the moth. Hey, free protein. Anyway. That's my baby boy. I need to take this trash out. Anyway, now it's over half an hour. I'm so sorry, everybody. Air conditioning. Talk to y'all later. Peace.